Watch Bigfoot film dashing through woods on Sierra Nevada mountains. Unfortunately, this is a Rocky Mountain Sasquatch special, so it may be most likely a hoax. But let's take a look at the video and see what it is anyway.
Coyote Ridge Bigfoot caught on camera in eastern Sierra.
Bigfoot.
Bill writes RMSO. Bigfoot watching my dog play in eastern Sierras back in May. The elevation is close to 10,000 feet or higher. Everything happened in about the first 10 seconds. If you enlarge the video and pay close attention to the far left, you'll see it walking rapidly behind in the trees and through the snow. It hides in a thick tree, then squats and opens up the branches just as I pan away to film our dogs playing. Do you have the ability to make the video larger? I hope so, because to me it's quite apparent this creature has a dark color, fur, not clothing, and is very natural looking. This is the real deal. RMSO responds.
Real deal.
Make sure you guys watch to the end. I will enlarge the Bigfoot-shaped subject by 400%, and then I will slow it down to half speed so that we can get a really good look at it. The dog is looking in its direction at the beginning of the video in the upper left corner of the video frame. The subject moves very smoothly.
Did you say subject?
None or very little up and down, and at first I didn't think it was even moving its arms. However, after enlarging the section by 400% with the creature in it, I can see that it does move its arms, and there is one frame with the side profile that I can see that it has a domed head. Just before Bill pans away from the tree line, you can see that the very fast-moving subject stops.
You know what I can see? A guy in a suit. Are they ribbing us with this? I see a guy in a suit, guys. Guy who can run pretty fast in a suit, but nevertheless a guy in a suit. Period. Rocky Mountain Sasquatch needs to be called out on this BS. And I'm going to call him out. This is a guy in a suit. Kelly Shaw, you pineapple. You moron, you stupid pineapple. It's a guy in a suit. Period. A guy who can run pretty fast in a suit, but a guy in a suit nonetheless. Notice that the individual who was filming pans away from it. I don't know if he actually saw the guy in the suit or not.
In the thick section of cover and trees, and seems to stay there, observing Bill and the dogs.
Be careful.
Not only does this thing have a dome-shaped head, it seems to move way too smooth for a person. No up and
People can run like that. You pineapple. Oh, because it doesn't have a bobbing up and down motion, it must be a Sasquatch, right? Must be a Sasquatch, right, Kelly Shaw, you pineapple? Moron. Or to quote Red Foreman, dumbass. Loch Ness, well-known misinformation, little-known truths. During the 1930s, the global mass media decided that the Loch Ness Monster existed only as a persistent hoax, and that view entered also into such authoritative sources as encyclopedias, while genuinely scientific publications had nothing to say about it. That has changed hardly at all. Scientifically credentialed writers and pundits have not kept themselves up to date as to the evidence. During the second half of the 20th century, conclusive evidence came to show that there is a population of large, deep-dwelling animals in Loch Ness, animals whose place in the tree of life remains to be established since no specimen of authentic DNA has yet been obtained. The evidence of film, sonar observations, and underwater photographs are all consistent, however, with thousands of reliable eyewitness testimonies. The evidence was accumulated by the insights, efforts, and fieldwork of many people, most notably Constance White, Tim Dinsdale, David James's Loch Ness investigation in the 1970s, and the teams led by Robert Rines, also 1970s. Yet in 2024, a book intended for young adults was titled Loch Ness Uncovered, Media Misinformation and the Greatest Monster Hoax of All Time, by Rebecca Siegel, Astra Young Readers, 23rd of April 2024. The book contains innumerable errors of fact as well as logic, but nothing more is needed to completely discredit it than to point out that it mentions neither White nor Dinsdale, and that the chapter about Robert Rines is entirely misleading. It is a disgrace to its author and publisher. Sounds like one of those skeptical books. And skepticism is not bad in and of itself, but this may be cynicism creeping in. So, gotta be careful of that. Loch Ness Monster. Nessie spotters not swayed by postcard depictions, says Scots University. Only 1% of Nessie spotters report seeing the famous sea monster's humps. The image of Nessie as a long, thin, three-humped monster has endured in Scottish mythology for centuries, luring thousands of visitors to the banks of Loch Ness every year with its mystery. But now new research has found the sea monster's undulating physique rarely features in reports by those who claim to have spotted her. Researchers found only 1.5% of those who claim to have seen Nessie report hoops or humps in their description, suggesting they may not be influenced by the traditional imagery used in postcards and other memorabilia. The research by Dr. Charles Paxson from the University of St. Andrews and Adrian Shine from the Loch Ness Center explores the history of the image of Nessie as a three-humped creature and its prevalence in today's culture. They examined the frequency of the image in postcards. The researchers found between 25 and 32% of all postcards of Nessie depict her as hooped. And we see these popular depictions, supposedly, of Nessie. Very interesting. So there's a possibility that perhaps those humps may be something else. But what could they be? Swimming otters? Swimming seals? I mean, what the heck are they? I suppose nobody really knows for sure. But it would appear that they're really not the humps or hoops of Nessie. But the only problem with that is other lake monsters have been spotted with humps, such as Ogopogo, Champ, and other famous lake monsters. So is Nessie the exception to the rule? I suppose that's an excellent question, and one that doesn't have easy answers. Maybe answers will come when we actually have a specimen, either in captivity or dead. That's what it's going to take, either captivity or somebody killing one. But I'd hate to be the one to try and haul in a huge creature like that onto my boat. I suppose if somebody has a big enough boat on Loch Ness, they could probably do it. But it'd be a tall order, that's for sure. Finally, pair of campers with binoculars report seeing Bigfoot in Washington State. A pair of campers in Washington State could not believe their eyes when they looked through their binoculars and spotted what appeared to be Sasquatch. The unique case was reported to the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization by witness Ryland Snyder, who explained that the sighting occurred on June 26 while he was camping with a buddy at the Wenatchee River. As the two men relaxed that evening, he recalled, their conversation came to a sudden stop when his friend noticed something unusual across the river. Grabbing their binoculars, the pair was stunned by what they saw. Recollecting the observation, Snyder marveled that they caught sight of a bipedal creature standing around 8 to 10 feet tall and sporting very dark reddish-brown hair that covered its whole body except its face and hands. The pair were understandably awestruck as they passed binoculars back and forth, watching the mystifying figure as it moved branches and other brush around. Upon getting a second look at the suspected Sasquatch, Snyder said it turned its face toward him, revealing a very ape-like visage with a flat nose. That's quite fascinating if the sighting is legitimate, which we can't say one way or the other if the sighting is legitimate or not. We're just taking someone's word for it that they actually saw something. I mean, maybe they did, I really don't know, but again, it's just a sighting, it's just a report. We don't have any actual confirmation of it. It's just another report. What is it Thomas Steenberg has said in the past? Keep a camera with you at all times, because if you have the opportunity to see one of these things, it's going to be a very fast sighting, and you shouldn't waste the opportunity, because if you without video or film, it's just another report, and we have thousands of those. Now, that's not to say that video or film or photographic evidence is going to be absolutely conclusive. It's going to be the actual proof. It's not. But still, at least you would have a record of what you saw, and your footage can be analyzed and determined to be one of two things: either an actual Sasquatch or a person in a suit. One of the two. Take your pick. These guys' mistake is they had binoculars and not a video camera. Or, to the ones who are pro-kill, they didn't have a gun. So therefore, their sighting could be discounted, I suppose. Theirs is just one of the thousands of sightings that have occurred, or alleged sightings that have occurred. And as Thomas Steenberg said again, we have thousands of those. And that's going to do it for this week. We want to thank you very much for tuning in. You guys are the heart of the show. I always say that, but I always mean it. And I will continue to do this as long as you guys want me to. And for almost 11 years, it'll be 11 years this upcoming January. For over a decade now I've been doing this. I've enjoyed every minute of it. And will continue to enjoy it, and will continue to do it. So, until 2 weeks from now, y'all be good or be good at this. May-HBM's Cryptid-Corner.